Hello and welcome all. Today, me, Piyush, and my friend Vishru are going to host the first episode of this podcast series, Masters in the United States. Today, we are having Rahul Diza with us, and he is going to share his experience about his masters in the United States.
So, hello Rahul, how are you? And thank you for joining us in our podcast series. And our first question is please tell us about yourself as well as your profile, what you have done in your bachelor's and all.
Thank you so much, guys, for inviting me. My name is Rahul Disa, and I'm glad to share my knowledge with everyone. I have completed my bachelor's from Pune University in electrical engineering. I have done internship in Force Motors, where I had a project under tractor division to detect and analyze the electrical defects. I was the project head, where I got to learn about the whole electrical circuit works, how the electrical circuit works in a tractor. My second internship was in a control panel manufacturing factory where I had to manufacture different and test different HP control panels. Also, when I was in my university, I was the head of the Renewable Energy Club in my bachelor's, where I conducted programs about energy conservation and did social events as well.
So, what about your GRE scores and TOEFL or IELTS?
So my GRE score is 300 and I had given IELTS, which was 6.5.
Okay, nice. And why did you choose USA for your master's?
So basically, it is the country's reputation for renowned higher education programs. There are different benefits such as small class sizes, highly accredited professors, advanced technology and research capabilities. Now also as US has the most international population, you have an advantage of networking with people across the globe. US has also always welcomed multicultural environment. To be honest, you won't feel lonely. Also in USA, there is a guaranteed successful career after graduation.
Okay, that's good. And in which field you are pursuing your master's right now?
So my major is in electrical engineering, specialization in renewable energy. And I am currently pursuing masters from New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Okay, that's great.
So, from which university are you pursuing your masters?
So I am currently pursuing my masters from New Jersey Institute of Technology.
And which universities did you apply for?
So actually I have applied to 7 universities. Mostly I've applied universities on the East Coast. So the universities which I applied to were University of Texas Arlington, New Jersey Institute of Technology, SUNY Binghamton, Rochester Institute of Technology, University of Michigan, Stevens Institute of Technology, and New York Institute of Technology.
Okay, and from which universities did you got the admits and rejections?
So I got admits from New York Institute of Technology, Rochester Institute of Technology, and New Jersey Institute of Technology, and also Stevens Institute of Technology.
Wow, that's awesome. And I wanted to ask that why did you choose NJIT over all other institutes?
So when I was searching for universities with course structure related to renewable energy, I liked the courses provided by NJIT. So basically it has courses related to renewable energy, including solar energy and smart grid. Also, I searched about the research done by the professors and decided to pursue masters in NJIT. Also, New Jersey Institute of Technology has an amazing campus life with plenty of events happening daily.
That's awesome.
So Rahul, why did you choose your major in renewable energy?
So I decided to do majors in renewable energy when I was in my last year of bachelor's degree. I chose this major because first I had utmost interest in renewable energy, especially in solar energy and electric vehicles. Plus one, it's a booming industry and now every company as well as consumers are taking this seriously. So this was the reason that I actually decided to do my majors in renewable energy.
Okay, it's good. And why you specifically chose the USA for your master's in renewable energy? You could have chosen any different country also. Means,
Yeah,
are
I
there any
searched
specific
about,
reasons?
yeah, there are specific reasons. I searched about other countries, but basically for renewable energy, USA is a country in which I got to learn a lot many things. I researched about how the professors are in the companies, how they work, So, and also there's a lot of international population and you have an advantage of networking with people across the globe.
Yeah,
As,
that's nice.
and also US has welcomed always multicultural environment. So it's easy to actually pursue your master's here and get used to the country.
Oh, that's great.
That's why.
So Rahul, can you tell us about your course structure in NJIT?
Yes, so first of all, it's different for all universities. I will tell you about New Jersey Institute of Technology. So I have to complete 30 credits to finish my master's, for which I have a period of 24 months. This period of 2 years is divided into 4 semesters. So now one course carries 3 credits, again clarifying depends from university to university. So I have to study 10 courses divided in 4 semesters. Every semester you have to at least take 3 courses, which is the minimum limit, sorry. So 3 semesters, I have 3 courses and 1 course for the 4th semester. Now I will tell you about me. So I have changed my course structure and I'm completing my master's in 3 semesters by taking 4 courses in 1 semester. So basically in easy words, I will tell you, we have 4 semesters and 30 credits. So 10 courses and each course of 3 credits.
Okay, so you are in thesis program or in non-thesis program?
So basically my program is not a thesis program. It's a master's degree with projects.
Okay. So in your final term, you have to submit a project work.
Yes. So basically right now also in this semester, I had a project.
Okay.
And in next semester also, I will have one project.
Okay, that's nice. And can you tell us about any internship opportunities and fundings? So how often student gets these types of things?
Yes. So there are plenty of internship opportunities. And in that also there are paid as well as unpaid internships. So for funding, sometimes companies can even help you with housing. And there are funds allotted, but they review your overall academic performance. Also, there are research opportunities with the professor in which the professor provides funds for your education.
Okay. So are you having any type of funding? It's RA or TA like that?
So I don't have a research assistantship or teaching assistantship, but they had given me a sponsorship of around $4,000 in my first semester.
Okay.
And in my second semester also, I got a scholarship of around $2,000.
Okay, that's nice. And how often students get internship opportunities?
So internship is basically you do in your summer holidays, which is a period of 3 months. So, and you can do an internship only after completing 1 year of your master's.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
There are many internship opportunities.
It's nice. Oh.
So what about the housing? Which one did you prefer for, on campus or off campus?
So there are pros and cons for both. So currently I'm staying off campus, in which university is not at all involved. Off campus housing is cheaper than on campus housing. Also in off campus housing, you get to meet different working individuals which help you. In off campus housing, even networking is easy as you meet a lot of different people. On campus housing is expensive when you're surrounded by students from your university. Also, there are benefits staying on campus as you can use all the facilities 24/7.
Okay, so which one do you prefer? Means on campus or off campus?
So it depends from person to person, but I would prefer off campus.
Oh, that's nice.
So is there anything like that on campus is way more expensive than the off campus and all?
Yeah, on campus is way more expensive as the amount required for on campus for 1 year, it goes around for 2 years for the off campus housing. So it's way cheaper.
Okay. So what are your plans after pursuing your master's degree?
So after completing my master's degree, I will surely get a job and gain industrial experience in renewable field. So basically I'm looking for a position of electrical design engineer or a PV designer.
Wow, that's
Basically my
very
main
impressive.
aim is to, my main aim is to get a job in renewable field only.
Okay, so is there any specific company which you want to get job?
Yeah, so there are 2-3 companies. One is General Electric, second one is Tesla, and then there is a solar company which is SunPower.
Sun Power, yeah, right.
Number one right
It is
now.
a big company, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you suggest some good universities for this field, for the masters in renewable energy field?
Which are in renewable energy. I can't name all, but while applying to universities, I came across a few universities which had a great course structure. The universities which I came across were SUNY Binghamton, Villanova University, Stevens Institute of Technology, and New Jersey Institute of Technology. Again, I'm telling you, there are other universities which can be better than these universities. These universities are which I applied to do masters in renewable energy. You can search on internet. There are many universities. Check their course structure, and many universities are adding new courses related to renewable energy.
Okay, so what about your thoughts on ASU or University at Buffalo and Northeastern, like these universities?
Yes, these universities are good, and their course structure is also good. I would prefer, my first preference would be SUNY Buffalo, which is a good university.
That's great.
What about CPT and OPT?
So I will tell you, so you have to apply for CPT, which is curricular practical training in case of internships and co-ops. So once you apply for CPT, you will receive a CPT card in 7 working days. And you can start your internship or co-op only after receiving OPT card. So, and now OPT is optical practical training, which is required to start a full-time job. So OPT is not required for internships and co-ops. It is basically required for a full-time job. So after applying for OPT, you receive a OPT card after 3 months. So basically you apply for OPT in your last semester. So once you apply for it, it comes after 3 months. So you can start your job once you receive your OPT card. So for example, if you apply for your OPT in February, then you will receive your card in May. So now once you receive your OPT card, then you have a period of 3 months in which you need to have a job, or else you will be deported to India. Under OPT, you are allowed to work for 3 years, and your company sponsors you for H1B visa.
Okay.
Currently, this is a lottery based, and once you get H1B visa, then you get an extension of 3 years.
Okay, so for how many times we can extend?
So basically, you have to keep applying for H1B, and you can apply once a year.
Okay. So Rahul, how was your experience during first year of your masters?
So basically, my first semester was on campus, which went very well. I experienced many new things such as campus life and new courses, met new people. But due to COVID, this semester was online, my second semester. It was a different and new experience for students as well as the professors. But the professors made sure that your doubts are cleared and is as same as in class. So during the class time, there is a WebEx meet where the classes take place. The only difference of online semester is you cannot enjoy the campus life, and also networking becomes very difficult.
So it was a new experience for you.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And what to expect from US universities in upcoming years about these semesters and in overall?
So in the coming years, there will be more courses related to renewable energy. So when I was applying, there were limited courses. Also, many universities are bringing their campus to India so that more number of students can obtain master's degree and gain knowledge. This I read a few months back. So this is a great news actually for the students who cannot afford to study abroad. But universities like Harvard are planning to bring their campus in India.
That's really nice. I think it will take some time for them. For us
yeah,
also.
It will take around 5 to 10 years, I think so.
Yeah,
but
easily.
It will be soon there.
Yeah, it will be good. And what was your visa experience? How was it?
So yeah, I had a great experience as they did not ask me many questions, which is good. So actually, I'm from Pune, so I'm from Pune, so I had my interview in Mumbai. So once you have to go there for biometric, where they take your fingerprints and photo. And the next you have an interview with the counselor. So we have to reach there 2 hours prior in interview time. The overall procedure will take around 2 hours.
Okay.
I will tell you about my experience. So my interview time was 11 a.m. So I reached there around 9. I was lucky enough to complete my interview within an hour.
Mhm.
Also, the counselor asked me only 3 questions, which were: what is your GRE score? From where did you get your admits? And who is sponsoring you?
Oh, that's really nice. So what other question visa officers asks?
So they ask you questions related to you and your university.
Okay.
Basically, I'm just giving you an idea about the questions asked. So there are many questions which are asked. So I will name a few. So the main questions which they ask are: why did you choose this university? You have to give a good answer about this. Why this course? They ask you: why have you taken the course which you have selected? And what are your plans after graduation? So basically, if you're interested in knowing all the questions, then comment below in the comment section and we will get back to you for sure.
Yeah. Nice.
So, do you have any points you would like to recommend to the students so that they can ace their visa interview?
So this will be a one-line answer. There is only one mantra: just be confident, and your visa will be approved.
Okay. So, many students wants to know about this, that how do the students who are pursuing masters in United States, how did they start preparing for their masters? Like how did they start preparing for GRE, TOEFL, and how did you make your mind like I have to go to US, I have to settle there and all that?
So basically, when you do your bachelor's, you get an idea. You get an idea about what things you need to do before going to master. So basically, you have to give 2 exams, GRE and TOEFL. You can give IELTS as well if you are deciding to go somewhere in Europe or Australia. So once you know that you have to give these exams, you have to give that exams 1 year prior, 1.5 year prior actually.
Okay.
So start preparing around 2 to 3 months prior to your exams. So, and about the visa also,
Yeah.
do the mock tests, practice mock tests. So practice daily and just tell your friend or sibling to ask you questions and answer with confidence without looking. Also in GRE, do as many mock tests as you can and prepare IELTS. There are many videos on YouTube as well. So please take a look.
Okay. Do you have any tips for the upcoming students who are aspiring to study their masters in the United States?
Yeah, so basically, please, if you are thinking of doing masters, do it, because you will gain tons of knowledge in your master's degree, not only in academics but also about life. You will meet as many new people you can. Start networking, because networking is very necessary and it helps you in life. I will tell all the students that work hard and anything is possible. Just be dedicated and have patience about results, because results happen over time and not overnight. So work hard, stay
Yeah.
consistent and patient.
This was all for this video. We will be getting back with another video. Stay tuned and do subscribe to Fuel Energy Grid.
And thanks to Rahul Disa for joining with us. And we enjoyed very much with you. And thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much guys for inviting me. Had a great time and hope so many students gain knowledge from our video.
Yes.